Welcome to Talk Purpose and Truth with Eden and Kim, shifting you into higher consciousness, the show that elevates, uplifts, and encourages listeners to grow, heal, awaken, and evolve. Eden and Kim include bold topics, special interviews with inspiring guests, intuitive readings, channeled messages from beyond, including celebrities, hot topics to expand your awareness, and time for questions from the audience. Tune in for unprecedented truth, authenticity, on-purpose discussions, and magical moments.
Anyways, but Nikki is just a fascinating person. She's lived a fascinating life, and it's going to be fun to hear everything she has to say. So I want to officially introduce her. Her name's Nicholah Holdsworth, and she started her journey of energy healing over 12 years ago. She studied intuitive meditation and also has assisted in teaching this to others. Nikki is also a clairvoyant. She's also a mom of 2 boys, 2 almost not teenagers anymore.
They're man boys.
Yeah. Yes. So anyways, welcome, Nikki.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be with you guys, and thank you for asking me here.
Yeah, you're welcome. So my first question for you. So your gifts are very unique, and you have done readings for me, and I've never experienced anything like it. She's so amazing. She's so accurate. You do medical scans on people, energy and aura healings, hands-on healings, where you take the person's spirit out of their body and do a reading on it. And so basically the question I often get asked myself, it's probably something you've heard before too, is how did you know you were able to do all of these things?
Wow, that's a really good question. So when I was a child, I had different abilities, but then I was told to not speak about those things. When I started being right, I remember sitting on the kitchen floor, my mom was doing dishes, and I was sitting in front of the fridge, and we had a Ouija board, which, back in the 70s, I think everybody did.
Yeah.
Right, so I was sitting there, and I just started talking about an aunt of hers that had died that I named her name, what she died of, everything, and my mom just looked at me and just took it away, and she just said, "Stop, we don't talk about that stuff."
Oh.
And I thought it was something bad, of course, and then I kind of just thought, okay, this is something bad, I don't do this. So fast forward to when our son was in kindergarten, our youngest one, 12 years ago, he started having experiences, and seeing colors, seeing lights, people coming in his room, numerous things were moving in our house, different things were happening, and he was trying to verbalize it also and tell us. And I had a lady that just happened to come, obviously not by accident, came up to me, and she just said, "Are you Jonah's mom?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Are you open?" And I said, "Completely open." And she said, "He has abilities, and so do you."
Wow.
And she said, "You've put them away for a really long time, and it's time to look into them so that you can help him." So it gives me chills.
I know,
Yeah,
I keep
got
getting
it.
chills like crazy.
So that was mainly my goal, was just then I of course found this school that she told me about, and I said, I'm gonna go and just meditation 1, just to kind of, I wanted to be able to see what he saw that was scaring him. And then all of a sudden, just this flood, I was just flooded with information and pictures and colors and vibrations, and it got to be a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
But I was able to tap into what he could see, and able to teach him at a really young age how to basically, have some type of control on that energy and what he was seeing, and calm him down. I guess because for a child it's extremely scary. It's scary enough when you're an adult when you see some of the things you see, but trying to teach him that, this is just energy, they don't have a body, they can't hurt you. So, and just teaching him tools, and I learned tools myself, and then it just kind of went on for 7 years doing this, and just kept graduating from one thing and then going to another program, then going to another program. I think I became like a spirit junkie.
Yeah.
So, and I think what I loved, what I really got hooked on the most was helping people. That helped heal me, because it's a give a healing, get a healing, right? So would you guys agree too?
Totally.
And usually when something comes up in a reading, it's like, I think you had talked about it in one of your other podcasts, when you are in the picture, you can't see the picture. But when you're reading somebody else and something comes up and you're reciting it back to them, you're like, holy hell, that was for me too.
Yeah.
So it was like the same way of spirits trying to connect with us all the time and trying to give us information. So
It's like a roadmap.
yeah,
It's
like
so
a crazy
interesting.
roadmap.
As a kid, that's interesting because Eden and I have we haven't talked about it in a long time, but we talked about in the beginning when we connected again, things that we both had experiences as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
one of mine was seeing lots of colors, like colored orbs, and being afraid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was something wrong with my eyes and went to the eye doctor.
My son said the same thing when he was little. Our son, Kim, goes when he was like 4, and he kept saying the colors
Yeah.
are keeping
Yeah.
him awake. And I said, I said, I'll take you to the doctor. And he finally said, a doctor can't help me. You don't
No.
understand.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
this
happened. I just went.
Crazy.
Yeah, I just went a few months ago to get glasses for the first time, and in my life. And when they were doing the exam, I saw green, and I think from my left eye, and I jumped. I'm like, why am I seeing green? I asked the doctor.
Mhm.
He's like, nobody's ever seen that before. And I'm like, is there something wrong with my eye? No, I can't even tell you. And he had no explanation.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining it was.
It's funny because my parents I used to say, the colored bubbles are around. And so I wouldn't go to sleep. And so they would come in and say, we're going to pop them for you. And that was enough for me. I'd feel safe because they came in, and then I would go to sleep. It would happen over and over and over again. And now they talk about it. They're like, remember, now you see the bubbles and you know what they are,
Yeah.
That's so cool though that your parents came in and
They're
did
open.
that.
Yeah. They're open-minded.
Yeah, 'cause there's not a lot of parents that are, and so I mean, I was, obviously very open, and my husband knew what was going on. And he's like, just take care of it.
Yeah.
Make it go away.
Right. Well, or make it go away, or just calm it down a little bit, because you can't really make it go away because you're basically. I told him, you're like this bright light. I've worked with children before, and when they've seen things and it scared them, so I told them, I'm like, this is how I explained it to them. It's kind of like if you were going to go to a birthday party. Can you imagine walking into the room and nobody says hello to you? How would that make you feel? And then they always say, it would make me feel really sad. And I'm like, right? And I go, but what if you walked in the room and one person saw you? And wouldn't that make you feel, how would that make you feel? And they always say, it would feel so good. And I'm like, would you be excited? And they go, yes. Nobody else saw you, but just that one person came over. Yes. And I said, that's spirit. They're so excited that you see them. So you have a special gift.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to
And I
put
said,
it.
so they don't have a body, they can't hurt you, but they're just so excited, and they gravitate. It's like a magnet towards you, because they will do something, and all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, I see them. They're like, yes, I'll do that again because I want attention, right? Everybody wants to be validated, even spirit does.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
Yeah, because most people are scared of them.
yeah,
They
well,
think
most
it's
children
bad.
are.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times children are afraid. It's because of what they've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've heard.
Why are
So
you
not-
imagining that? Yeah, like that. kind of thing.
Imaginary friends. I mean, the whole thing, which we thought with our other son too, that he had an imaginary friend when he was 2.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, it wasn't so imaginary.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Can you tell us what a cosmic cap is and how do you heal it?
you mean a cosmic cop?
Cop. Yes.
Yeah.
Did I
cosmic
type it
cop.
wrong?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Should we fix that? Let's fix it.
No, cosmic cap. Like, kind of the same thing, right? So
Can we
cosmic-
edit? Wait, can we
wait,
edit?
stop.
Let's edit that because it's dorky.
Okay.
Oh, it is an A. Yeah.
Yeah. Can we edit that, Scott?
Of course,
I typed it wrong.
It's okay.
that's fine.
I don't know.
Where am I coming in?
I don't know.
Can you tell us what?
After she says something.
Let's hear what she said.
The last thing she said. A little before that.
Okay, at that point Eden was talking, I think, or no, you were.
Before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right before that.
Okay, so
Wow.
you wanna come in after the yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, after you both say yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So can you tell us what a cosmic cop is and how do you heal it?
So, cosmic cop, they're a little challenging. So, cosmic cop is basically an energy or spirit, whatever you're comfortable with, that has been, you've actually brought it in yourself, whether it was through trauma, whether it was when very young child, could have been before that, but it was basically, it's been brought in so that there's a certain part of you that can't be read. So I have experiences with different people, not a lot, because I don't think there's a lot of that goes around. I mean, I've read a lot of people before too. I used to do fairs on the weekend and everything. It's only happened to me a couple times where literally like someone will sit in front of me and I'll read their chakras and I'll get to, I'll do the 7 and I'll get to one certain chakra and all of a sudden I just go black. And I'm just like, ooh, okay. And I'll try to go back in again and try to say hello to the color, because that's how I read, is I see colors first and then I say hello to the color. Usually then a whole story, pictures will pop up for me. But when I go black, it's a cosmic cop. And so that's something that they have to heal themselves. And so I will make people aware of it. A lot of times I'll use a different wording than cosmic cop so they don't think you're some kind of weirdo or they don't think, wait a minute, I didn't call that person, But I'll just say it's a protection energy that has come in and that's this certain space, and for right now, we're gonna go ahead and move on and see if this can lighten up for later. So, and then sometimes it will. Sometimes they'll move aside a little bit, but usually if you have a cosmic cop, they won't let you see everything. Because the person is not ready for the information.
Right.
So, it's just not ready to go yet.
So it's sort of like a block.
Yeah.
Okay. You could always just say blocks. But I like cosmic cop better.
It's kind of a cool word.
Yeah.
All right, so you used to have severe migraines.
Yes.
Okay. What is the connection between migraines for anybody, not just your situation, and energy? And then also you talked about, when we talked earlier about meds, the meds that you took, and so the connection with all of that and how to heal the migraines, because you know about that connection, and how did you heal them in your life? What was your experience?
So obviously everybody's are different. I mean, just like mine were too. Mine were really, really severe. I'd have to go to the hospital or emergency room at least once a month. I could give myself shots, and they were so bad I'd be in a dark room for 6 days at a time. Couldn't do anything. Vomiting, I mean, it was just horrible. So once I started, and I really started diving really into myself and my own intuitive type, when I would do my intuitive meditations, I did a Kundalini healing. I went back and regressed into the womb when my mom was pregnant with me. And so when you're talking about your headspace, you're talking about your 5th, 6th, and 7th chakras. Your 5th is your ability to speak your own truth and hear your own truth. Now, I had a lot of muscle tension, super tight. I was on muscle relaxants because they thought that maybe that was my problem for my migraines. I've also had a really troubled time my whole life speaking my truth. So bingo, right there, right? My 6th, your 6th is your knowing or seeing what you see to be the truth. And so when I would hear, oh, well, you're getting those migraines because you're eating this or doing that, or you're not sleeping enough, or I would try and blame it on something else on the outside instead of looking inside. I'm like, oh, that's what I was seeing, right? I was only seeing what I wanted to see, and I wanted something else from the outside to heal me. That's why I was going to all these doctors. Your 7th is your knowing. It's where you store all your information. And I think for me, it was all the old stories that I've been told of how I should be healing myself. You go to a doctor, you go to a neurologist, you go get scans, you take this medication, you do whatever they tell you to do, instead of trusting your own intuition and working on yourself. And I remember the last time I saw my neurologist, I sat in there crying and he wanted to give me another medication. And he said, well, clearly you're depressed. You need another antidepressant. And I just said, I'm depressed because I want to live my life.
Yeah,
and
I understand.
Yes, I want my life back. That's why I'm depressed. And then he wanted to, give me the other medication. And I tried to tell him, I feel the best when I do my intuitive meditation. When I meditate for 2 hours at a time, that's the only thing that helps me. He didn't even write it in his book. He didn't even listen to me. He didn't acknowledge it. And that's when I walked out. I sat in the car, I called my husband, and I cried. And I just said, nobody is going to help me. And I realized I gotta help myself, right? I have the answer.
Yeah.
I've got the answer. I've had it in there all this time, but I haven't been using it. My head's like, hello, you have the answers. Just go in instead of going out all the time. So that's what helped me in being grounded in my truth and in my space.
Okay, but what made them go away?
That I continued with my meditations. I've changed my food. Even though I used to keep a food diary, I threw the food diary out the door because I couldn't stand keeping one of those anymore. I went to gluten-free. I went to all organic foods. Increased my water by like a gallon a day. So exercise, even though exercise I know can be really difficult when you have migraines, because I get that. But listening to my body more instead of what other people were telling me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I just want to go for a walk and I don't want to kill myself in a Pilates class because I think that that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
You know, because you're obviously not happy, so you need to exercise more. That's why you're getting a migraine. So it's different for everybody. So it's looking at and asking yourself, and because I read with colors, so what I would invite you to do is just sit in your space, ground yourself, look at that space in between your eyes, and just ask for a color. Say, okay, what color do you want to show me right now? And don't even think about it. Just say it out loud, like right now, what color are you seeing? Because I see a color for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing dark purple for you.
I was thinking purple.
Okay. So I'm seeing dark purple for you, and purple to me is a valent color, meaning that you're trying to save the world energy.
Okay.
Trying to save another person, and it looks like you've been trying to heal another male. So I'm just saying hello to that, and when I just keep saying hello to that male picture, it was like, bingo, like read.
Do you know? Do you know who the male is? I think I do.
I might have an idea.
This is like a brother kind of a figure.
It could be.
Okay. I'm just seeing it's like a brother type energy for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we don't want to. We want to keep confidentiality.
Of course. So I'm just saying it's that type of energy for you.
Well, it's interesting because I was feeling great driving here, and then just in the last little bit, I got like not a sore throat, but just like I have to clear my throat, and like a slight headache here.
Third eye.
Yeah.
So like this is wanting to open up, is wanting you to speak your truth. And when you hold it into here, you're holding this, it's going up into here, and it's like, what do you know, what do you know, what do you know?
Okay.
You see what you see, what you see.
Okay.
And speak that.
Got it.
And say hello to that, because you have a lot of
I feel
light
like I
blue
do already
you have a lot
speak
of
my
light blue
truth a
here.
lot.
Wait, what?
I said I feel like I do speak my truth a lot.
Oh, there's
Well,
more.
it could be something else that's coming up, maybe tonight or something that's going to be coming up for you. You're like, okay, I really just need to speak this.
Okay.
I'm saying when I see a lot of light blue, it's for clarity. So you do have you do have that ability to speak, and it flows naturally for you. So, but it could also be somebody else's truth that is stuck right in here, and that's what you see is somebody else's voice.
Is it a male?
It's a protection. Someone else's. You're trying to protect somebody else's voice.
Okay.
That's just.
And how would that, that's interesting. So, but does that mean I'll get messages about that person for them, or what does that mean?
No, it just looks like it's an energy that's you've decided to take on for somebody else as a protection. Like you want to be their voice because you're like, I'm more fluid with this. I can speak this more eloquently for you. So but that's where that purple comes in as a protection. You're trying to save that person.
Okay, that's interesting.
We'll talk after.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can you see colors in pictures like you just did with colors connected to people's physical pain? Explain what you see and how that helps release the pain.
Ooh, so every emotion is connected. It creates an energy. So how I see it. Okay, hold on. I just went into another space here.
Well, say what you need to say. What's coming up first?
So what's coming up for me?
Don't have to answer the question.
Right.
Okay, so what I keep seeing all the time is, when you walk into the grocery store and you can be in one mood, and you walk out and you want to cry.
Yeah.
And you're you don't know why. And so just think about it. A lot of times we make it about ourselves because that's our ego. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I have a great life, or blah, blah, blah. We tell ourselves all these different kinds of stories. When we're out of hand, obviously you're out of hand healer. We all are. We walk into that market, who is standing in line in front of you, and how large was your aura? Think about it. How large your energy field is, because we want to heal everybody, right? We want to make everybody love us. We want to love everybody. We're putting that energy out there, and we're basically inviting other people's energy in.
Right.
It's just an exchange. So you could be walking out going, why do I feel like this? Well, most of the time it's just a lie in your space, and that's what I call it, as a lie in your space. It's not yours. And so when I read people, usually I can pick up on that when something's aligned in somebody's space. And I can go, okay, we're gonna release this. And so I will talk to, another one of my spirit guides, and I will ask them to come in. But I always ask the person's permission first. I don't remove anything or do anything without somebody's permission. Because I do believe in karma.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people have to want it. They have to want it to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you briefly explain, talk about numerology?
Ooh, numbers are so fun. They are and they aren't. Depends if you're doing your taxes or not. So numerology, so I took a numerology class, gosh, it must have been 8 or 9 years ago. And the numbers made sense to me. And I'm not a musical person, but it was discovered back in 570 BC by a Greek mathematician when he discovered that music notes and numbers are basically related, which I thought was interesting because they usually say when children can play an instrument, they're really good at math. I've heard that before, like they're like brother
That's
sister.
so cool.
It's very cool. So everything, there's a series of, you have a whole alphabet, so you'll have a series of letters, usually it's 3 each, that are assigned a number. And when you add those numbers up, it's like the numbers are never wrong. So I'll go by an office building, or I'm gonna look for new doctors. I've done this before for my kids when I was looking for another doctor for them. And I do the address in my head, and I add it up, and I'm like, wait a minute, they're a number 8, that means they're all about making money. Money's not a bad thing, but I want somebody who wants to be a number 6, which is the mother number, who wants to take care of my child. That's who I want. And so it's really interesting, and there's been, my husband and I have been driving by different places before, and we'll look at a restaurant, and he's like, gosh, that place, it's just been so many different restaurants. And I'm like, it's because it's the wrong number. It shouldn't be a restaurant. It should be a doctor's office.
Places like that.
Right. So it's really, it's interesting, and I can do people's names, like their charts, I'll do their full name. This is really super cool. I did my full name, my single name, and then I do my married name, and it changes. Because you know that you change when you get married.
Yeah.
Your personality can change, your soul number can change. Your personality is how other people see you, which I always love to do that for people, because people always have this, not everybody does, but I find a lot of people don't see themselves as bright as everybody else does. That bright light, you know what I mean? I'm not saying smarts, I'm saying this bright, beautiful light. And so that's why I like to do people's personality numbers, is because when it comes forth, this is how people see you, and it's like you can just see their faces light up. For our kids, I did their whole chart, I printed it out, and I had it up on their bedroom walls. When anybody ever at school tells you you're this or you're that, you want to look at this when you come home, and this is who you are.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
And it's phenomenal, and I love it. I don't do the negative number stuff. I know what I like. I mean, I always know number 5s when my mom was getting ready to pass. I ended up figuring out the number that she passed, the time she passed was a number 5. 5 is a freedom number. The place where we were staying down in Mexico at the clinic, the room was a number 5, the freedom number. Every single number went to a 5. And and that was her release, right? And that's when she decided to leave her body.
And that's when we were together the other night, and we sat down, and I'm like, why? I keep getting a 5 in my head. And I didn't know that about her mom. Yeah. So
She was saying
I was
hi.
like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, that's the number 5 is my mom. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
But I love numbers though. I mean, yeah, I'm always in the back of my head, even people's cell phone numbers. If you take your 4 last digits, and usually you take your 4 last digits and you add them all together, and then whatever that number is, I know the number and I usually know what it means. And I'll tell a person, oh, this is, when people are calling your cell phone, this is what this is for. So it's really cool. And
So what's a 12?
number.
Because that's mine.
12 is 3, and that's the creative number, so people are calling you for creativeness.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming is doing readings, is that creative?
Yes. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, are you kidding me? That's a gift.
Wait, so you add the last 4 digits?
You just add them up.
So mine would add up to 2.
Oh, so 2 is the psychic number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. People call me for readings mostly.
It's 2. So is it 0011?
It's 8174. So then I added all those up till it was 20, but then I added 2 plus 0.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, how did you get that? Yeah, so the 2 is the psychic number. So that's usually when
Oh.
people are calling you. It's 2.
Okay. Intuitive readings, yeah.
Yes. So yeah.
Oh, cool. So,
wait, I have another
oh,
question.
okay, me.
Well, because is numerology different than when we see like multiple threes
Angel
and-
numbers?
Yeah. Is that
That's a
different?
good question. Because I go by that also. Yes, because when I go by 222s, is that what you were going to ask me about?
Yeah.
222?
Yes. I didn't say.
I actually saw it in my head.
I had
222.
it too, and I just changed it really quick. I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
why.
222 is the 6, it ends up being 6, which is the mother number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is, you can
Yes.
do numerology
So,
with that.
When you're thinking about your angels, you're like, that's my angels. Well, it is your angels because they're like a mothering energy. They want to take care of you and they want to help guide you.
So like on the way here, we saw several different multiple numbers on license plates in front of us.
Yeah.
Is that just angels telling us they're with us?
I think it's if it means something to you, if you're seeing 2s, they're trying to communicate with you. I think it's what it's bringing your attention to.
Mhm.
But you can also, I mean, I've been walking before and listening to like an audiobook and just think to myself, okay, angels, if you're really around me, show me some 3s. And all of a sudden I'll just happen, something will catch my eye or I'll hear something, I'll look over and it'll be a house number, it'll have all 3s on it. And I'm like, you know, it's kind of like when you're, I think sometimes when it's kind of like when you're shopping for a car, you're like, I want this one certain car. And then you get on the road and you're like, wait a minute, now I'm seeing these cars everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, that's like the universe also saying, you can have this, this is what you can have. And I mean, what an amazing ability that we have, right? We don't give ourselves enough credit or how much power we really have.
Yeah. I think that when you, like for me, I mean, those kind of things are also validation and signs because you feel them and you know they are. But a lot of people will say, well, that's just a license plate. Or I saw a black feather, well, there's crows flying around. But sometimes, you know, you can dare to like, I'll say, okay, I want to see a rainbow cloud or I want to see white doves and I'll see them. Then it's like, okay, those are a little bit even extra there, you know, and
It's
so
even more validating.
yeah,
right?
but I mean, I wouldn't go around asking for that every minute of every day. It's more like a nudge I'll get and then I'll ask for it, like a feeling, you know.
Right.
So what about, you were talking a little bit about chakras and how to clear them. And why is this important? You know, a lot of us talk about, you know, oh, I feel blocked, or I want to open up my crown chakra to be more connected to divine, or whatever that may be. Like, why is this important for us?
Okay, well, it's important because, and like I said, energy can get stuck. And usually, not even just stuck, I think it's a signal that this energy is ready to go. It wants to leave you so that you can be healed, so that you can bring in more good things. Just an example, when I was really 6 years old, I started with kidney infections, like bleeding kidneys. Doctors couldn't figure out why. I was so young and this was happening to me, right? So when I got older, I actually was interacting with my teachers. I'd had numerous bladder infections my whole life, kidney infections. I had 2 kidney stones before I was 30, a lot of like issues down there, and that's my second chakra. Your second chakra is your family energy, and that's where you try and heal your family. When I was 6 years old is when my dad had an affair, and I knew about it, and our family almost completely, it was horrible. My brother was only 3, I was 6, and I had to deal with a lot of adult issues of being a 6-year-old. I had bleeding kidneys.
Oh my
So my
gosh.
teacher said, you didn't know what to do with it when you were 6, so what do? You put it right there, right? So that energy gets stuck, so that's why I believe that it's important. There can be energy stuck in people's shoulder while they're having like neck pain or they're having like different things going on. It's because usually neck and shoulder pain is a responsibility picture.
Yeah.
So then I can say hello to that and I'll look at the picture, you know, and like you have a yellow on that shoulder right there and your right shoulder right there, and I'm being shown that it's a responsibility picture for making people happy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I have that about me. Yeah, totally.
It's bright yellow. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I usually I think I've learned very well not to be a people pleaser, but I used to be. Yeah. Now
Okay,
it's
so then you're
that I
releasing that.
enjoy making people happy.
Right. So that can just, and it's not like in there, it's like sitting on top of there. So, but now that I said hello to it, it's like, it turns into like this lighter, mushy, like whiter color, which is like an unconscious energy. So, which means that like usually when you're unconscious or in your sleep is when it's like, okay, I'm gonna go now, I can leave. I don't have to
Good.
stay here,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Okay, good. Then maybe when later, if you have time to do readings on us, you can find out the source of the hormone imbalance.
Well,
that's-
those are fun.
Yeah.
That's the next thing on the list.
Yeah,
here,
that's
so-
why I was hinting,
Yeah.
just
so,
in case it's meant to be.
Yeah.
For more information on Eden, go to edensustin.com. For more information on Kim, go to kimlifecoach.com. Make sure to follow them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Talk Purpose and Truth Podcast. If you loved this episode, you'll love every episode. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thank you for listening.